This is the Walkaround Kimura. We start in side control. First thing I want to do is make sure that I'm blocking his near side hip with my hand. So I'm just in a push-up position here. My other hand moves over the head, and I want to make a fist, bringing it up into his armpit. I'm turning my palm up towards my face, and I'm bringing my fist as close to my chest as possible. So I'm really just locking up under the armpit as much as I can before I move at all. Now from here, I start moving to north-south. And as I do, I'll pop up to my toes. I'll use this arm to push his elbow across his body. So the idea is that as I go, I'm coming up to my toes, and watch this. I start pushing this arm across with my shoulder here. Now, I don't want to stay loose. I don't want to keep my weight on my hand that's on his hip. I want to keep my weight under this grip here. So I'm sandwiching his arm between my chest and my forearm. How you doing, Al?
Great.
Not so great, right? So try to pull your arm out, Al. He can't do it because all of my weight is tripoded onto this sandwich right here. So one of the main mistakes people make is that they start putting their knees on the ground. As soon as they do, now this grip is a lot looser and you can pull that elbow straight out. So everything I'm doing is to keep in control of that arm and keep it where I want it so I can attack and he doesn't rip it out. Block the hip, elbow over the head, make a fist into the armpit, turn your palm up towards your face, and now I start to move to north-south. Use that shoulder to drive across. As I come up to my toes, I'm sandwiching that arm in between. Now, if he kind of like hugs the back of the head here with this arm, all right, I'm just gonna use my shoulder shrug here to make that arm go in front of my face, okay? Let's change the angle just a little bit. We're here. Now, once I'm here, I've got some attacks, okay? Since I'm behind that elbow, first thing, just grab right up over those knuckles, and I can force my wrist lock here, okay? If I want to attack the Kimura, before I put my knees on the ground, I'll start grabbing his wrist and making my figure four. Now, I bring my shin over his bicep to take that arm away. My other foot, I step up to it and point my knee into his back as if to keep his back off the ground. Bring his elbow to my chest, and then I start pushing his wrist out towards his back to finish the Kimura. Okay, one more wrist lock. So make sure you're blocking the hip, and then the elbow comes over the head. Make a fist, bring it up towards your chest. Really trying to take up all the space I can under that armpit. As I come towards north-south, right here. Drive that shoulder as I pop up to my toes. Got a wrist lock. Before I do anything, make my figure four, step over that bicep, step up to your foot and point your knee into his back. Bring the elbow to your chest, push the wrist out towards the back. Let's go head back out this way again. So one of the most common things that could happen is once we get here, all the way up to the Kimura, he's able to grab his hands together, okay? So now when I come up, it's very difficult to break this grip. Let's change our angle just a little bit. Okay, here we go. So while I'm here, I can turn this into an armbar, and the reason I want to do that is because I have a lot better ways to break the grip for the armbar than I do for the Kimura. So from here, I start grabbing my own lapel with my hand that was on his wrist. My other hand turns palm up. Keep your hips as low as possible and start turning toward his head. As I sit, I start pinching my knees together. From here, I can put one of my shoulders on the ground, and without sitting back up, I rotate and put my other shoulder on the ground. I do this until the grip breaks, pinch my knees, control his thumb, and finish the armbar. So again, we're here, trying to finish the Kimura. He's got his hands together. Start coming up, grab my own lapel with my hand that's on the wrist, turn my other hand palm up, keep your hips as low as possible, and then start to rotate towards the head. Sit, pinch your knees together. Put your shoulder on the ground. Without sitting back up, put your other shoulder on the ground. Do that until the grip breaks. You go back and forth all day. As soon as it breaks, control the thumb, pinch your knees, finish your armbar.